Welcome to Braunhaven. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. So these guys are staying at the Rawlham Tavern and Inn in the Dewan Ward, and which is pretty much the river walk of Drzewodolek. It's on the southeastern side of the city, just south of the Docks district. And the inn is known as being very popular with those that are foreign to the city. And uh, when they arrived, first they got made fun of by a bunch of drunk high elves, and as an apology, one of those high elves, come to find out he is a part of House Olagaren, and invited them to the the Olagaren Midsummer Ball, and there was more joking about their appearance and whether or not they had clothing that was acceptable. And he said, "Don't worry about it. He will supply them with appropriate attire once they arrive, and that will be tomorrow night." And then the other invitation they got, the barmaid moved them upstairs to a quieter area where they wouldn't be made fun of, and they met a pair of high elves that were. They are a part. One of them is a part of the Veanli theater company named Referd. He's a half elf, and he was having dinner with a high elf named Shalina Persan, and excuse me, they invited them to a matinee premiere of their play named Miserui Politique, and they went into some detail about it's about a up and coming politician who has dreams of changing things. And he only too quickly discovers that the life of politics is more misery than he had dreamed of, and that in order to make these changes, he will have to destroy the livelihoods of others. And so they have this afternoon play that they've been invited to, that they intend to visit and see the play, and then that evening they will go to the ball. And the play was set up in such a way that it didn't interfere with the Olagaren Ball, because the Midsummer Ball is kind of the event of the year. So they are still in the Rawlham Tavern Inn. They've got rooms, and it is completely covered by Kirill Triskelion from Southbridge, who as a thanks for helping them solve the murders in Southbridge, has paid for room and board and fare at the Rawlham Tavern and Inn for as long as they stay in Drzewodolek. We would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall before we get started. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. And today we would like to thank AleHorn. AleHorn makes wonderful Viking-style drinking horns. All of their horns are made out of oxhorn, and they have a lot of different styles. My wife got me a set, and when I say a set, it was one tankard-style drinking horn, and it came with a oxhorn shot glass, and absolutely my favorite beer drinking mug. I mean, it's fantastic. But they have a lot of different styles. They've got the traditional actual horn, and they even have stands that you can place it in if you want to set it on the table, because obviously a horn isn't going to set up right. They even have leather holsters if you want to carry it around with you, although I don't recommend doing that while it's full. They've got, of course, cups and shot glasses and several different styles. Excellent company, fantastic customer service. I can say that. The first one that I received probably happened in shipping. It was cracked and leaking, and they replaced it, no questions asked. If you do order, when you go to their website, if you see one that you like, don't be disappointed if you get one that the colors and striations in the horn are a little bit different. Ox are just like people, and every single one is going to come out just a little bit different. So, be prepared for that. But all of their horns are are absolutely fantastic, beautiful pieces of art in every single one of them. So I highly recommend them. We also have a merch store. It is via Zazzle. We've got shirts and buttons and hoodies. The hoodies have black and white portraits of the characters from today's game. I think the only one missing is Peppermint, and we don't have one of Mira the Warp Beast. But I don't know. Maybe that. I don't know if we'll have one of Mira. But anyways, um, that could be incoming soon. And we've got poster maps of the Braunhaven region. We've got a beer stein and a whiskey rocks glass, all sorts of stuff. And 100% of the proceeds from that store goes back into our channel, and it kind of helps us pay for all the little things that creep up on us every month, like Roll20 Pro subscription or Incarnate Pro subscription, which, as you can see, we use quite extensively in this particular campaign. It also paid for the Wondershare from Mora yearly subscription. So if you want to help us make ends meet each month, anything that you purchase from that store helps with that. Go get yourself a t-shirt and a beer stein, and we appreciate everything you do for us. I am up to 160 pages now of the next adventure, Stagina, the Land of Ice and Plunder. I'm about a third of the way. Yeah, probably about a third of the way through the third act. So there are 6 acts in the adventure, so it's moving right along. I mean, I have high hopes, but I don't know if I'm going to make a Christmas time deadline. Not that I have actually set myself deadlines because of exactly this reason. It's just hard to say. I mean, some days the ideas just come out, and then other days I have to sit and think about it. So one of the things that happened was I had made an assumption, and that was dumb of me. The assumption that I had was that a particular type of creature was already in the Old School Essentials Advanced Fantasy Referee's Tome, and it is not. It is not in the Tome of Horrors or Tome of Essential Horrors either. And so I'm having to create that. Not necessarily create it, but I'm taking another monster and buffing it up in order to create the monstrosity that I'm needing. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that it wasn't in there, to be honest. But here we are. So that is coming. The other thing that is coming is, and that will probably start this Monday, I am going to do a Christmas sale for all PDFs, 50% off, and I'm going to reduce the rate for hardcovers. And if you order a physical book, then you will also get the PDF for free. It's included. That will be going on through Christmas. Maybe through the first. And yeah, that will be on Drive Through RPG. So keep an eye out for that starting on Monday. All right. So one of the other things, as you guys were going to your rooms, you did note that there was an Orentian man who was staying in a room up here, and he seemed to be keeping to himself. He seemed to be an older gentleman with a long graying goatee type beard, and he was wearing simple Orentian robes with like a rope as a belt that was tied around his waist. And he noted you guys walked into his room, and you could hear the door lock when he went in. Aside from that, I mean, the tap room, both floors of the tap room were busy with customers, but you haven't really interacted with anyone aside from the people that were noted before. So, you have your rooms for the night. Are you bedding down and just getting ready to go to the theater or tomorrow, or are you doing something else?
I'm just excited to go to the theater tomorrow. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's what made this up to. I don't have anything in mind for any of my characters to do tonight besides just get some sleep.
So is Mavis preparing any different spells than normal? Because you get to every rest, clerics and druids, I think bards and rangers and paladins get to pick spells every rest.
Mhm.
So if there was something you wanted to change up, you could.
Okay, I'll take a look at my spells. I'll look in the I'm gonna keep fabulous visage. That seems like it might come in handy in social situations.
Yeah, because that'll boost your charisma or whoever's
Uh,
charisma.
okay.
And what about Alora? Is she doing anything, or just resting and getting her study time in?
Yeah, I think we're just pumped about the play tomorrow. That's pretty exciting for all the girls in the group.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine Peppermint's probably just bedding down and getting her rest.
Mm-hmm.
What about Borman?
What's
Wes is
muted?
muted.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Um, man, everybody around this place is fucking rich, and there's no way in hell that the woman's just gonna go to bed.
Okay. Okay.
Um, he's he's gonna he's gonna go acquire something.
Okay. You can move your exploration movement rate. So the grid is on, and the measurement tool does work. And like I said before, probably the easiest thing to do if you open up your measurement tool, grid snapping, set that to no snapping. It just makes life a lot easier. I have the
So,
opacity of the grid turned way down. That way we don't like get a headache from looking at overlapping grids. One thing I wish Roll20 would do, well, there's a couple of things I wish they would do. First, I wish they would remove the snap to grid that happens when moving tokens, because I don't always want them to be directly on a grid square. And number two,
no,
I wish they would do is I wish they would implement the same grid matching that Owlbear Rodeo does. In that, if you have something that already has a grid, you can shift the grid left, right, up, or down to match with what's already on the map, so it doesn't make you go cross-eyed looking at it. Two things for them to
these windows here, they go to the outside. Is that what that is?
correct, but you are on the second floor. I mean, you should have climbed sheer surface. I mean,
Right. I'm just gonna kind of come right over here and with my magic rope,
okay,
let myself down easily. Just kind of right outside the window here. Just,
okay. So that will put you like right here, and of course you can see in the window. So this room that you're looking in is it's a common room, and so basically this is the cheapest room that you can get, and essentially is just a empty room, and you're allowed to throw down your own bedroll and stand there. You don't see that there's anybody staying in this room presently.
and so I'm guessing headed out this way is like the exit to the joint.
No.
Right here.
Yeah, this is another window. And this is a circular stairwell that goes down to the ground floor. It also goes up to a tower, third floor.
I'm trying to get out of the
You
complex.
you you are outside. You're
I
climbing
am
down the wall.
outside.
You are outside.
Yeah. Then yeah, I want to move out into the town. Just creeping on down that way.
Okay, so we will come back to you. What's Malachi doing?
Oh, Malachi is going to.
Study his spells and.
They read, yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna do a quick check through to see what kind of clothing that we have back at Castle Braun.
Okay.
If we've got something that fucking really can. These elves and shit don't know how to dress. You know, I mean, they're they don't know. I mean, they have their little frolicking clothes. I want something that is not going to limit my manhood as I wander about. I don't want anything that makes me
So, I
want to
mean, being a necromancer,
skip
you're
and
probably going to
shit.
look like a hot topic threw up on you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna come in. Maybe come in with a kilt and a fancy shirt with
Oh,
a doublet, or you know,
okay.
and it's all black, of course,
Black,
and
white, and
maybe
gray plaid.
yeah, with some little skulls dingling off. Maybe some mouse skulls
So,
that are
I
trying
mean,
to.
I don't. I mean, you guys have purchased like cold weather gear. I don't know that you have any.
Nice clothes.
Yeah, you don't have any. Fancy clothes.
That's
I mean, the most
Well,
you guys
one
have done
number
is
five.
cleaned up and washed off, but you haven't really. You know,
well, I do have some stuff in store though. I have the royal crown and scepter.
True.
And that that's Alora can wear that.
Yeah, I got some
And
good jewelry.
yeah, so
Kind of weird to wear really nice jewelry with like adventuring clothes. So that's what we're gonna do because I don't know where to get clothes on such short notice.
Well,
yeah,
let's see.
I mean, with the mirror, couldn't we like pop into the town that's near our castle or a thing and be like, yo, you owe us, make clothes, give clothes.
Right. Well, that's what I was just going to say. Is that if and I'll just show this to everybody because the basic layout of the town. Let me take a look here. Dun, dun.
yeah. Don't they have like Roscoe's fucking
Yeah, there's probably a Duluth
tailor
here.
for the
Duluth elf trading. Dun,
There's a dress barn.
So yeah, this works perfectly. So this is the Duan Ward where the Rollum Tavern and Inn is, and and it doesn't matter. So it is referred to as the Riverwalk by those that are from outside, humans and whatnot. And it is made up. The entire ward is pretty much made up of like tenement-style housing for those that do live here, but there are a lot of shops here that pretty much any piece of adventuring equipment that you would want would be able to be purchased here. Special items could be commissioned. There'll be like a 10 to 20% increase over price depending on what it is. Now, if you wanted to commission clothing, and this is later in the evening, if you wanted to commission clothing, it would probably not be ready by the time that you would need it for tomorrow. But
Mhm.
looking at, let's take a look here. Here's my adventuring gear. And I may have to just come up with something.
I mean, can't we scry down into the catacombs below the thing and go down to the royal vaults and just get some of the dead clothes?
Well, you mean back in Braunhaven?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could, but those clothes are all rotted. I mean,
Oh.
most of those corpses are really old. But
Yeah.
I would say that, I mean, how fancy of clothing do you want? How well dressed do you want to be?
I think we all
I
want to
just
be
want to.
well.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to know the garbage. That's what what I want.
Well, I would say that you know, anywhere from just buying stuff off the rack, anywhere from 50 gold pieces per person to, you know, 250 gold pieces. Of course, the more that you spend, the nicer it's going to be. But this is all going to be stuff off the rack.
Okay. Um.
We might be better off just getting fitted by the royal anus.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And we could just keep the clothes, like keep
Yeah.
people. That'd be
We
cool. Okay.
could be busting jewelry though. I mean, we can make Samuel look like Mr. T with so many necklaces I've got.
That's
All
true.
right. That sounds like a plan.
Well, and if you if you wanted to haggle a bit to sell some of that jewelry, this would be the place to do it.
No, I
You want to hang on to it so it can't see, huh?
mean we've got a lot of gold and shit in the thing. The jewelry and the gems make spinning it easier.
True.
I mean,
That's
in a
true.
lot of ways, just transporting and stuff.
Yeah, jewelry and gems are lighter than gold, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just want to make sure that everybody has, nice rings and necklaces. And I mean, I've got so many pieces of jewelry. I actually have one listing of 8 pieces of jewelry worth 800 gold pieces each. It doesn't even say what kind of jewelry,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So,
It could be anything.
right. So I just, for the story purposes, I'd like to think that when dude gives us his nice spiffy clothes, that then we drape that shit out with badass fucking,
Or just wear it walking around the way you are. You know, you could be a Kardashian. You're wearing, you know, torn in air quotes torn denim jeans, a Calvin Klein tank top, and like Lady Diana's fucking cross around your neck. You could do that.
Do
that
whatever you want. Don't tell
evidently
me
that's
what you want.
chic. So yeah, I mean, what does well here I will do this. So there's Borman. So like I said, you're in the Duin ward. Where would Borman like to go?
Borman thinks the Council Palace seems like a wonderful location to go sniffing around.
Okay. So, all right. So you don't know the town very well. I mean, this of course is an overhead view, but you're at street level. So the first thing that you note is that these roads, these avenues, they are mostly laid down with like a quartz gravel, and really, really packed down from years of uh, people walking on it and carriages and things of that nature. The things that you notice is that off of these main roads, such as in the Duin Ward, the Duin Ward, or any of these other wards, they don't have roads that move into alleys. All of the elven buildings are built on top of like a lush grass because they're elves. A lot of the elves, just working around their house and whatnot, or around their shops, they go shoeless. They're not wearing even socks. They like to feel their feet on the ground. The other thing that you note, you do see a couple of carriages, and you see a couple of people riding, but they're not riding horses. The carriages and whatnot, or things that people are riding, are great elk, and it appears that is universal here. That is the chosen mount. But aside from that, so like these roads and little alleys, you will need to ask for directions. So you can roll. You can roll. Make a charisma ability check, and you can subtract any bonus that you have just to charisma, or you can add any negative you have.
8.
That's pretty good. I assume that's under your charisma.
Yeah, my charisma's 10.
Okay. Shit, you're pretty good looking
Nice.
and well spoken for a thief fighter. So you ask. I mean, like I said, it is after dark. There are small wooded lanterns or even some paper lanterns that you see hanging and around the some of these buildings. And you stop somebody and you ask them directions to the council palace. And the thing that you learn about elves is that they seem to be very terrible at giving directions. And so this guy tells you, he says, well, he says, you see this avenue here, if you follow that up until you see a large leafy tree, and then you're gonna you're gonna want to look at the top of that tree, and when you see that star right there over the top of that tree, that's when you know you need to turn right, and then just keep heading straight on, and it should take you to the council palace.
All right. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look for the tall building that I think would be a palace.
Okay, so
Yeah, he pointed me in the general direction. I'm gonna act, I don't want to have a long conversation with anybody and have them,
right.
yeah.
Go ahead and make a wisdom ability check.
Yeah, I did it.
All right. So, as screwed up as he made these directions sound, you do indeed find a big leafy tree, and you look and you're like, yep, there's a star right over the top of it, and you turn and your head to the right, and you do see there is a large palace type situation. The other thing that you see, and let me find it here. Yes. So this area and this area are part of the Genrora ward, and it is mostly made up of farming communities. And looking in this area, you see that there's a number of these farms, and they are all kind of, they're ranches, and they are raising these great elk. And you see that there's a number of these great elk moving along in fenced-in pastures. And you see a sign that says that it is an arrow, a wooden arrow, that is pointing. And of course, it's in Elven, but beneath it, in smaller script, in Hand Elm, common, it says Letherel Orchard.
Okay.
So are you just continuing on to the palace?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wanting to be invisible as I approach.
Okay. So you are invised.
And I'm thinking, because there's a royal ball and shit, they'll have like doors and stuff open for people coming and going with stuff, and maybe I can just blend in with that and skip my ass right in there with them.
Well, like I said, it is after dark. This is the Erat ward, which Erat is royal in Elven. And this takes up pretty much this entire area and this entire area. And there are a number of buildings here, outbuildings away from the palace that are made up of essentially they are the homes of politicians and council members. But the council palace itself is pretty much locked up tight. There are a ton of guards all over the place. And this is the original seat of power of the Elvish kings of Drzewodolek. But today there are no more kings. They opted a while ago to switch over to a more or less monarchy and more, I guess, democratic. Although the Council of Elders isn't. It's not like the people get a vote.
Yeah.
The Council of Elders is supposed to.
If there's big flashy homes here, I want to just kind of, randomly sneak into one.
Okay, go ahead and make a lockpicking check. Well, that worked. And go ahead and make a move silent check.
I automatically make those.
Oh, that's right, because you're wearing the boots. That's right.
I have my thigh-high boots of silent strutting.
Yes. They're not the cursed ones that are made of corduroy.
Yeah. Well, they had a matching cloak, but I gave that to my buddy.
Right,
So.
right. Go ahead and make a. Go ahead and make a intelligence ability check.
Oh, that's my intelligence on the dot.
Okay. So you break into, you let yourself, not breaking in. You're careful and you delicately pick the lock and get inside. And this is a pretty opulent home. 5, 6, 7. So you get 7 percentage checks, or if you want, you can just take the average.
7 percentage checks?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to do it.
Okay. And make your first check.
Well, what I was thinking is I was going to just push 7 D100s and let them roll.
Go for it.
And so that's
Let's
a
see here.
44, 65. 6 might be good. The 8 might be good.
44 is a win. We'll just go straight down the
Whoa.
line here.
Dang, we got a lot then.
Yeah.
What a score.
I'm just trying to make a score and go home. It's what thieves are supposed to do while Brian slowly meanders his way.
Right?
Um,
So you find a pouch, or a sack, really, with
right.
2,000 copper pieces.
I'm not even going to take it.
Okay, you're just going to leave it, okay?
Not worth the trail, man.
Let's see here. 65 is nothing. A 6 is something. Roll a d3. So 1d6. 1 to 2 is 1. 3 to 4 is 2. 5 to 6 is 3.
I rolled a 2 on the D3.
Okay, so that is a 1. And then...
No, I rolled a D3.
Oh, you did.
I typed slash R.
Okay, so it will do it. Okay.
Space
Well,
1D3.
that's a little bit easier. Okay, so
I can roll a 1D26 if that's what you want.
no,
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Let's see here. Roll percentage.
All right. 13.
You find a +1 sword.
Okay. I'm taking that.
Okay. Let's see here. An 83 is nothing. A 43. 43 is nothing. An 8 is nothing, because you already found the other one with the 6. And a 43 is nothing. So 2,000 copper pieces and a +1 magic sword.
All right. Well, if that's what's here, that's what's here. I will. I will jump out. I will leave.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave the. I'm just gonna kind of. Are the people here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Okay.
I will lock the door behind me by picking it.
Go ahead and make another lockpick check.
Seems to be working just fine.
Okay.
And then I'll go right back to my room and go to sleep
Okay.
like nothing ever happened.
All right. So you go out and loot the town. All right. So you guys are able to complete your rest for the night. It is a very good, nice, comfortable bed, excellent rest. You get breakfast in the morning, and you guys are ready to make your way to the Veanli Theater Company.
Yeah.
Back to this map. So this Veanli Theater Company is all the way up here. And and so this district, let's see here. So this is the Venkian ward. And so this is pretty much one of the oldest wards in Drzewodolek. It was it was kind of set up originally for this was Drzewodolek and was a short distance from the palace, but today it has kind of moved into what would be considered the upper middle class or working middle class district. Mostly consists of low-ranking nobility, business owners, and guild leaders. And there's several of the of attendants that work for the various counselors or spend their time hovering around the council chambers at the council palace have homes in the Venkian ward as well. And so both at the same time, this is one of the oldest districts in the entire city. It is also not as highly thought of as it once was. This is, like I said, working middle class. And there's a couple of buildings in here. So there is Inathana Hall, that is the home of House Inathana and their patriarch, Esta Inathana. It, of course, for being in the Venkian ward, is much more opulent than the rest of the homes. There is, of course, the Veanli Theater Company, and the other notable buildings here is Wasavler Manor, which is the home of House Wasavler. And there is the Guild of Artists and Entertainers, which is a little bit weird. It's not so much a guild because they'll allow anybody to join, but it is more along the lines of a long-running party than a guild hall. There is always some kind of entertainment going on. The doors are always open to anybody that wants to partake of the arts, and there are frequent ad hoc performances by bards or playwrights or whatever that take place in here. They have a fully stocked bar. Like I said, it's just this nonstop party unlike, the other guild halls are more business, whereas the Guildhall of Artists and Entertainers, really, the Guild of Artists and Entertainers in an elven city really has no reason for existing, because the elven people are naturally artistic anyways. So it's a little bit weird, but it exists nonetheless. But you make your way to the Veanli theater, and so this theater was started by the half-elf bard Thomas Veanli, and is an avant-garde theater that provides satirical plays. More often than not, the performances mock the Council of Elders, High Elven Society, and even the racial tensions of the city or some other societal norm that needs to be poked fun at. The theater has been raided multiple times by the Council Guard on suspicions of criminal activity or anti-government conspiracy, but none of these raids have ever produced any evidence. And so, despite the threat of a raid, or in a lot of cases, because of the threat of a raid, the Veanli Theater Company has become popular in the Venkian world, especially among the younger subversive types. And they they perform 3 nights a week, and it is two facial or 2 silver pieces to enter, and that is collected at the door. This is the Veanli Theater Company.
Too expensive. I don't want to go anymore.
Yeah. Oh no, 2 silver pieces. And so here. Sorry, my other window is causing me problems. So the double doors lead into the theater lobby, and immediately the first thing that you see is a ticket table here, and there's a half elf, and she is actually wearing what I mean, you're assuming that it's a costume. She's in theater makeup, and she appears to be a member of the cast, and she's got a small chest, and she's collecting the 2 silver pieces from everybody that comes in the door.
I thought you were talking about her boobs first.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm like, what does that have to do with? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, her boobs are in the play. Although she's an elf, so probably not a lot to look at there. They tend to be flat chested. But over here is a wine bar. And they have a number of wines that are local to the city. The cheapest of these is 5 silver pieces per pint. And the average wine is going to be 10 silver pieces or 1 gold or 1 gold piece. The most expensive here is from a famous winery here in Drzewodolek called the Savelle Winery, and it is a sparkling white wine that goes for 2 gold pieces per pint.
Ooh,
I will
I
take.
gotta try that.
I'll take 2 glasses for the entire party.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, so you're going for the expensive stuff, huh?
That's the one thing that Jackson does. He doesn't spend his money on anything else. He doesn't believe in possessions, but wine you don't possess, you just rent.
Right, that's true. So around the room, there are a number of these intimate tables. They have a small candle on them, and you can see around the room there are a number of what you again are seeing are members of the cast as they are dressed and in makeup, and they are mingling with a number of the people that are here. And in here, you see that there are. So, tell me a table you want to go to, and I'll tell you who's sitting there. If you want to meet a guest or cast.
Who's this one?
Okay. So Mavis goes over to the table, and you meet Faunalyn Olagaren. So she is a part of House Olagaren, um, but she's older. She's an older elf. Like it's hard to tell with elves, but she looks older. So you're guessing probably somewhere between the ages of 250 and 300 years old. And she is very immaculately dressed and is careful to, not show too much skin. Like some of these damn younger elves that go on adventures, tits hanging out and, wearing ratty clothes. No, she, except for her face and maybe a bit of her ankles and her wrists and hands, she is covered head to toe. And she speaks in a very clear, studious manner. And she says, "Oh, welcome, dear. Welcome to the Veanli Theater Company, and welcome to our city. I, not being of elvish descent, it's interesting that you would want to take place or take part in the theater."
I'll tell her about the guy that convinced me.
She says, "Oh yes." She says, "Yes, that would be referred, and he is the one who wrote this play. I'm not particularly a fan of him personally, as he tends to have a love of festivals and debauchery, but." It is said among the people that this is the play to attend.
Wow, hot gossip, huh?
And
Debauchery.
she says, "So, have you received a invitation to the Olagaren Midsommer Ball?"
Yes, our whole party did.
So excellent! I have plans to attend the ball this evening. And she looks you up. She goes, and she kind of looks around. She says, "Before that, I have to witness my peers embarrass themselves." What about Alora? Where's she going?
Let's talk to who's this table. Run.
Okay. So at this table, you meet one of the actors in the play named Caris Ferry, and he spends, I mean, you shake his hand and introduce yourself, and he pretty much goes into talking about himself. He doesn't really ask any questions. But he is he says he's an award-winning actor and singer. But you get the feeling that this is kind of a comeback play for him. He's hoping to get back into the good graces. But just the way he's describing it, you get the feeling that he's hung all of his hopes on this Miserui au politiques and kind of getting back into the acting scene. And he is readily willing to sign autographs. And he's even going so far as to waive his usual signing fee, especially for outsiders. And Alora kind of gets the feeling that he thinks that by getting into your good graces with these outsiders, that somehow is going to elevate him.
Wow, he just smells desperate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope it all works out for him.
So if you've ever seen Empire Records, this guy is definitely Rex Manning. What about Borman? So we know that Jackson's over here getting drinks.
I mean, Borman is gonna kind of just come on in and is there like a around these kind of windows here? They're like curtains and stuff.
Yeah, but they're all open.
Yeah, that's fine. Um that's what's all going on in the corners of the room.
Oh,
You know, are there
there's
like
various
rags
yeah,
and stuff?
there's various actors and whatnot that are hanging out in the corners.
Right. Do they have like props and stuff anywhere?
Yeah, they would have some basically hanging on the walls props from like past plays, things like that. Like there's one wall like over here that has a display of porcelain masks.
That's where, yeah, I'm wanting to go to where I see like some swords or something hanging. If you just want to kind of put me near
Sure,
where there's swords hanging,
sure, there would be
that'd
some
be
like right
great.
over here.
Awesome. Awesome. And is there an empty peg?
No. Now the other thing that you note is that all of these swords that are here are they are actual metal swords, but they are all of the blades are flatted, so there's no edge on any of them.
Mhm.
Well, I want
You
to
can
kind of
still
take,
bruise somebody.
yeah, I want to kind of take one off the wall and just kind of hold it and inspect it, you know,
Okay.
and see what happens around me when I do that.
So you take one of these flatted, and you note that it doesn't even have a point on it. The end is
Yeah.
rounded, and you take one off the wall, and you're expecting it. And the bartender behind the wine bar says, "Sir, those are to be seen and not touched."
Well, yeah, I'm just looking. You said these were, you know, these appear to be from past performances, and if we're talking about wanting to perform, I wanted to look to what kind of tools I could be expected to work with. I meant no disrespect.
And he says, "Oh, well, yes, yes." And there's a small wooden plaque beneath each one of the swords that tells the play that it was used in.
Is he like, you know, I'll put it back and I'll grab another one and kind of look at it.
Yeah, he seems okay with
Uh,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
he kind of calms down.
I'll go through several of them, you know, over the next couple of rounds, and when I think I'm being ignored, I'm going to take that stolen +1 sword and put it in its place.
Okay, go ahead and make a I'm going to say that this would count as like a pickpocket check. So yeah, go ahead and make a pickpocket. Oh fuck! Rocked it.
I needed a one.
Okay. So yeah, that is a critical success. You swap it out, and this +1 sword is sitting up there.
Yep. And so yeah, I'll just kind of put the prop sword that I just stole in the bag of holding, and I will go start hanging out with Jackson and them.
Okay.
Maybe tell a story about how we fought giants in the hills or something.
What is Malachi doing?
Malachi is just going to hang out in the background creepily behind Aurora.
Okay.
Laura.
Okay.
Yeah, and he might do an odd grunt or something, or every once in a while, at an awkward moment, he'll be like, "Oh yes."
um,
Do you want that one guy to sign anything you own?
so
Oh no, I'm not one of these signatures or nothing. I'm just
so
I'm here.
Okay.
He wants
with
to
the
do like
group.
he sees people do and pretend to be huge fans. Like, can you sign my cod piece?
well, I mean, Carice will definitely be willing to sign your cod piece. I mean, he's willing to sign anything to get his name out there. But so Malachi lets out a grunt and says, "Oh yes," and Faunnelyn Olagaren, who's having her conversation with Mavis, kind of looks over her shoulder at Malachi with this. Just Mavis notes that she just has this look of utter revulsion on her face, like so uncouth. Carice doesn't seem to bat an eye at it. So we know Jackson's getting drinks. What's Peppermint doing?
You heard there was something free. I heard the autograph guy was free, so she's having him sign all kinds of shit.
Okay. She also meets another half elf member of the class of the cast named Enelios, and he is a skilled opera singer, and he spends no time saying, "Well, really, I feel that my abilities are wasted on Miserui politiques, but I was given a key part, so I intend to use it to my advantage."
I worked somewhere I didn't like once too.
Oh my. Just one time when I was twirling around the pole.
Yeah, exactly. I know just what it's like to be you.
Well, oh shit. What is Dentry doing?
Dentry is gonna is there a table with something that looks like big and brawny or something? Or bigger and brawny for our health anyway?
Yeah, you do see someone, and he is very well. He's got broad shoulders for an elf.
Right.
And he's wearing, very fine, probably his best clothing. But he's all over this. He's also wearing a hardened leather breastplate that denotes him just from the livery as being a member of. Hold on, I don't. Remember.
Get your sweater, bud.
I don't remember all of these. He's a member of House Helisaren.
Yeah, put up your sweater.
All right, well, I'll walk over to him and be like,
So House...
I like your look. You seem like a good... Which table would he be at?
He is right over here.
Okay.
And so House Helisaren... House Helisaren is known as having the largest standing army in all of Drzewodolek. And so, because of that, it falls to House Helisaren to take up the defense of the city and to supply the council guard for the Council of Elders. House Helisaren is also deeply invested in the Guild of Military Affairs. The Guild of Military Affairs pretty much champions the cause of veterans. It's very, very important to the city that elven veterans of their military or their house guard takes or gets precedence. And so if they muster out, they're taken care of, given whatever it is that they need post deployment. And the head of the Guild of Military Affairs is Rabin Trisatra, who is a very old high elf, and his daughter, Ilmira Trisatra, handles most of the day-to-day operations of the guild and of House Helisaren. And so she's not quite as conservative as her father, but she still is known to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to dealing with the veterans of the city of Drzewodolek. And so the guy that you are meeting is actually named... Wait, why is this? Oh, never mind. I'm in the right spot. He is actually named Varian Fardan, and he is the captain of the watch for the Docks Ward. Now, like I had described before, the Docks Ward here in Drzewodolek is not like any other Docks Ward that you would expect in a city. At first glance, it seems to be very neat, very clean, and it is almost to the naked eye devoid of any crime. You don't see pickpockets, you don't see prostitutes, you don't see vice anywhere. It's a clean docks district, and that's mostly because the watch of the docks ward pretty much puts that down. The city of Drzewodolek and the Council of Elders does not tolerate that kind of behavior in their city. And he was invited to the opening matinee of Miserui by another woman who's also at the table named Zeno Winlana. And there is some suspicion that the two, Virion and Zeno, are actually in some kind of relationship that's more than professional. And they seem to this meeting at the table, it seems rather cold, and the two of them kind of separate, and it appears to Dentry that they are trying to avoid each other on purpose. Like, they don't want to make a scene of it. Zeno Winlana is a wealthy shipping magnate who has contacts in Orentis, and she has a number of offices on the docks ward, and it employs, or it seems to enjoy being seen as a patron of the arts and spreading vast wealth around easily. So she's just spending money hand over fist, buying people drinks, and just going crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Did Dentry have any questions for Virion?
I'm like, you seem like a sturdy person, and just like curious, what do you do to be so sturdy among your kind?
So Dentry, roll 2d6 plus or minus your charisma. Yes, 2d6 plus or minus your charisma modifier.
I am mostly sure I have a minus. I forgot to open my character sheet.
I'm pretty sure you got a minus, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Yep, I do. Okay, 2d6 minus 1. Okay, 2d6 minus 1. Survey says I got a 3.
So
hey, I wasn't planning on being very charismatic about it. It was just like hey, you seem like a big brawny dude. What do you do?
Right. This guy looks you up and down, and you immediately get that feeling like it's not really so much how you're dressed, or really even so much how you carry yourself. It is strictly that you are a half-orc. And he just kind of looks you up and down, and he says, well, many years of training and service, sometimes in defense against your kind, has led me to my physique.
So you must be. I look at him going, like, knowing that he's judging me, and I'm just like, okay. So you're good in a fight? like I'm not bothered by your looks, bro.
Yeah, he just kind of snorts and kind of turns away and goes back to drinking his champagne.
I'm like, someone get this guy a drink. I like him.
So you guys wander around. Other people in here that you meet is Yalrissa Ilisaren. She's a famous artist in the city. She was personally invited to the play by Referd, and she makes sure everybody knows that. And she specializes in gold inlaid stone oak leaf art. And she's been sought after by the stagehands of the theater company, but she's not accepted to work for the theater company as of yet. Well, I think you guys met everybody else. So after about an hour of mingling and drinking,
I want Jackson to be kind of tipsy now.
Okay, so Jackson's kind of tipsy. A guy steps out of these doors here, and the double doors open, and he's got a small brass bell that he rings 3 times, denoting that there is time to go in and be seated. You guys, as being personally invited, you are seated up on the balcony up here. I will just move you guys in here. Now, of course, this is the second floor. These doors come in under this balcony and into the main area, but you guys have balcony seating.
Cool.
Now, there may not be enough room. There we go. So you're all seated up on the balcony, and you can see the stage, and it is lit by these candles all along the edge of the stage. What else about this stage? So these are the reserved balcony seating. You're also sitting next to who you met before, Shalena Pearson. And you note that sitting over here, she points out to you that sitting up here at the central balcony is the Primarch himself, Primarch Eridan Kirksissis. And she says, "Oh, this is a good sign. This is a sign that the play is really going to get noted, and everybody in town is going to be speaking about it." And she points out that sitting also in the reserve seating behind him is his personal attendant, Eowyn Ferrymore. And Eowyn Ferrymore is, I mean, she's his personal attendant, but, I mean, just watching this guy, you can tell that he probably barely even knows that she's there. Not very, he doesn't treat her like family at all. But all of your characters can roll a d6.
5, 5, 3.
I have 2.
Yeah, who got the 2?
Malachi.
Okay. And Brian, your characters can roll a d6. Oh, you did. Who got? Okay, so who out of your characters got the 2? You're muted.
Dentry.
Okay, so Dentry and Malachi looking across the theater, and of course it's fairly dim lighting. I mean, I think. Yeah, it's lit by candlelight. Looking across the theater, you see sitting over here in reserved seating the Asian gentleman from the Rawlum Tavern and Inn that you had seen entering his room the night before. He is a little bit better dressed now than he was last night when you saw him at the inn. He's wearing like a black and tan Orentian and Asian style robe, and he's got like a tan cloth belt, wide cloth belt that goes around his waist. And you see that as he's walking up the stairs, he is walking with like a bamboo cane, and he seems to be walking with a limp. But both Malachi and Dentry, you can make a wisdom ability check, so you need to roll under your wisdom.
I rolled above my wisdom.
Holy crap, I got a roll.
So, Dentry, you are looking at this guy, and it seems to Dentry that the limp that he walks with is kind of an act, and what gives it away is that this guy is limping on the wrong leg when he's stepping with the cane. So if you know how to walk with a cane, you walk with it in the hand on the side that is the problem, and you step at the same time that you put the cane down. He's doing the opposite of that.
Weird.
I say, this guy thinks he must be some kind of, what is it? what do they call those people who have the peppermint? The guys who own you before you're free. What are those guys called? I think he's one of those with his
Oh, a
cane.
pimp. He thinks it's a
Pimp. Yeah, a pimp with a land. That's right.
What's the word for a pimp out in this time?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
What's-
sure.
He's a pimp with a limp, though. That's it. That's who he is for now.
No, the limp is fake. The limp is an act. That's what I say. The limp is an act. He's really just walking around with a cane to be cool. Maybe he wants a
Okay.
hat with a feather.
So the doors downstairs shut. They don't lock, but you can hear the doors shut. And the Refared comes out and welcomes everybody to the play. And excuse me, my allergies are killing me today. He tells the crowd rather, that the act will consist of 4 acts. Each at a each act is a length of about an hour and 30 minutes, or about an hour, and there's a 30-minute intermission in between. And he says, "Please, if you can, don't distract the actors by getting up and leaving before intermission. But during intermission, the lobby is available to purchase more wine, since you might be thirsty." And so the play gets underway. Everybody can make every character can make an intelligence ability check. Nope. You want D20 there. There you go.
Borman did not make it, but Malachi did.
Okay.
Oh, D20 plus the enemy to do that. Okay. So, yeah.
Ooh.
It looks like Alora is the only one that made it.
Okay, so and what about Dentry and Jackson?
You're trying to roll below, right?
Yeah, you want to roll below it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Gentry made it. Jackson did not.
Okay, so those that made it, you're watching these first 2 acts. You're watching this play, and you those that made their check, you find the play has potential to be compelling, but you're ultimately finding that it is overly complex and rather dull in the acting with very little action. Those that failed the check are utterly bored, and you cannot wait for this to be over. You're like, this is the most boring, stupid play I've ever witnessed. But during the second act, just before the intermission, everybody can roll another wisdom ability check.
Okay.
So it looks like Mavis and Alora got it. What about Borman and Malachi?
Malachi got it.
Okay. And what about Dentry and Jackson?
No, that would be a hell no. They
Okay.
both failed miserably.
So Mavis and Alora and Malachi, you're kind of watching the play, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Wapui, the Asian gentleman, pull up his cane, and he pulls the handle off, and he reaches down, and he pulls the bottom piece off, and he holds it up, and he holds it up to his mouth.
Is he drinking out of it or something?
No, he's holding it up like a pipe.
Like a blow dart.
Maybe. We sense danger? Does it seem like he's smoking? Weird.
He is not smoking, but we'll see what happens.
My player has an idea, but my characters have none.
Yeah, your characters are clueless.
Jackson's just sitting there enjoying his buzz, thinking about the wine. Dentry's like, when does this thing have action?
Right. All right,
I mean,
everybody
at least
can
I understand it's supposed to be good.
add him to. Yeah, everybody can roll initiative, and here's the action that Jackson is so desiring. I'll be right back. Okay, so oh, one. All right. So Mira probably not doing anything. Alora got it, right?
Um,
Yes.
yeah.
Alora and Mavis got it. So rather than mark the ones that didn't get it, I'm going to mark the ones that did. And so everybody else failed. Okay. So, Alora, you see him bring this pipe up, and he is pointing one end to his mouth. The other end is pointed towards the Primarch. What does Alora want to do?
Yes, testicular torsion.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be that kind of game.
1, well played. 2, this is going to be hilarious if he shoots it at somebody else accidentally.
Oh, and so Malachi, Alora, and Mavis, you also note. So you are sitting over here with Shalana Persan. The three of you can make another wisdom ability check.
Still made it.
Okay. Wow, somebody really nailed it.
Yeah,
So both of them made it. So all three of you made it. So looking over, you're sitting up here in this reserve seating, of course, with Shalana Persan. You see her looking directly across at this Orentian person with the blowpipe, and she doesn't appear to be scared or shocked or concerned in any way. She's just staring intently.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to cast Testicular Torsion. And he needs to make a spell save, I believe. Save versus spell.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, really? Okay. Yes, he saves.
Okay. Yeah.
What is Malachi doing?
Have him save versus spells or be choked.
Okay.
Use the blowgun while you're choking, you son of a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He saves.
Ah, he's a jerk.
Borman is clueless. Dentry is clueless. Wapui. Let's see here. A 17. Haha, it hits. So, you see him go, thump, and a dart goes out and sticks into the neck of the Primarch.
Oh, jeez.
Now I need to. Oh. Okay, so. The Primarch. There. 8. No. You might be okay. No, wrong dice. The Primarch saves, but you see him reach up and grab his neck, and Wapui immediately starts to reaches into the inside of that wide tan belt and pulls out another dart. Peppermint is not aware. The Primarch. The Primarch. Actually, I didn't expect him to make it. The Primarch is going to. He jumps over and ducks down behind the bench and kind of takes cover. Iwin, she jumps over and also takes cover next to the Primarch, kind of in a protective stance. And what is Mavis going to do?
He's gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Sweet. Okay.
Oh, there's my effects. Okay. So 5 points of damage. I was looking for effects last night, and I couldn't find it. But this is good. Okay, so that definitely he needs to make a save versus spells. Oh no, he fails. Oh yes, he fails. So he is sparkly. Anybody that takes their next attack on him does so with a +1 bonus to hit. Is it +1?
I think so. That's the way I remember it.
That's the way I remember it too. But I was, or is it +2? 35. Yes, +1 bonus to hit. And so, man, I love having switched over to ascending AC. I wish I would have started it this way because it's runs so much faster. We are in regular combat. After the guiding bolt goes off, everybody in the audience kind of goes ape. The play kind of stops, and now Wapui is on the other side, and he's Sparkle Boy. What is Mira doing?
Mira, now aware that shit is happening, does she need a command to go attack the dude? Because she doesn't know that the dude did it, right? Because it's a blow dart. Like, is she aware that that's what happened?
Well, I mean, she would see that he's sparkly. I mean, maybe she, maybe she wants to change the, maybe she wants to chase the laser dot.
You know what? Yes, she does want to chase the laser dot, and I'm quite certain that that's well within her movement to get there.
Let's see. She's got what, 40 move?
50.
Yeah, she can get there.
All right. Now you're making me question. I'm like, is it 50? Yeah, it's 50. Yeah, it's 50. Okay, cool. Yep, she gets there, and let's have her do her attack.
Yeah, have her do her thing.
Oh!
Oof.
Sparkly lights distracted her.
Oof. So, that kind of ruins everything.
Jump over that balcony.
Yeah, she trips over the balcony as she jumps over and just kind of lays flat on the ground.
Damn. How high up is the balcony?
10 feet.
Oh, there's stairs here anyway.
Yeah, there's stairs here and here. Okay. And then, of course, under the balcony are the doors. There is actually a side door too that leads out. Okay. Actually, though, hold on. Let me double check something. Okay, so it is. So there are two side exits. This door is not locked. This door does have a big iron padlock on it, and it is under the balcony. So, anyways, what would Alora like to do?
Let's see. She can. Oh, that's never. Oh, fuck. That's kind of a ways. We're kind of high, right?
Yeah, you're 10 feet up.
Okay. So I can probably make it so I hear it, right?
Were you getting a happy ending over there?
No,
Wow.
My bad. Ignore that.
Yeah, you can get down the stairs and down onto the ground floor.
And then, I forget what the range is for throwing a dagger. I'm at 35 feet, so I think that might make it harder.
Dagger 30 feet.
Okay, so is it like a -1 or something?
You would be at a -1, yes. I would say probably a -2 because if you're at, let's see, let me double check that. You're going to be at -2 because you are actually -3 because you are about 8 feet past the long range.
Well, it's like my main ranged weapon, so I'm gonna give it a try. It's a +1 weapon, so I'll be.
Oh, sorry, that was Mavis. Here's Alora.
Well, that didn't work.
No, so you flip the dagger out. It doesn't even get close. Whips around and comes back to Alora's hand. What is Malachi doing?
Well, Malachi is just going to fuck this shit and give +3 with the magic missile love.
Okay.
10 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is something that I was meaning to bring this up last week. So reading through Castles and Crusades, the first time I've ever read a role-playing book for any version of D&D that finally explains the damage or per level. So reading through their magic missiles are more along the current lines of 1d4 plus 1 per missile, right? But it's not 1d4 plus 1 per missile. It is 1d4 plus 1, and you get to add +1 per level per missile. So if you've got 3 missiles, it'd be 1d4 plus 3. Or if you've got 6 missiles, it would be 1d4 plus 6. Which makes a shitload more sense because there's always been a question, because I've seen it done both ways. And whenever I see it done the other way, I'm like, why, you just threw 3 magic missiles, why aren't you rolling 3d4? And they're not. They're rolling 1d4 plus 3. That's why. So that makes a lot more sense. But anyways, we've been doing it this way, and I don't care. So you did 10 points? Ooh, that's not good for him. Okay. Are you moving at all?
I can't.
Oh, that's right. You cast. Missile. That's right. What is Borman doing?
I mean, we really don't have swords and shit, do we?
You could. I mean, there was no reason. There was no mandate that you show up unarmed.
All right. Well,
I mean, it might be uncouth, but there's no requirement. In fact, you see most of the people have at least a dagger. Some, like the captain of the watch, he's got a sword on. So I mean, it's not. I guess in his case, it depends on his station. But I mean, most people are armed at least with a dagger.
Maria is down on the floor, prone, right? So it's not really close to Wei Pai, right?
Correct.
All right, so I'm gonna come right over here on top of this bench and shoot with my longbow.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot. Mira also takes 2 points of damage from falling.
Hello.
A cat that didn't land on her feet.
That's
Does a 19 hit?
Ooh. Yes, it does.
Take 2 points of damage from the
Okay.
arrow.
Okay, so you shoot an arrow and you hit him pretty solid. And he makes his morale check. What does Dentry want to do?
Oh, it's Gentry, not Jackson. Shit, that's right.
Yeah, Jackson, as
Goes
usual,
last.
got a really low. I mean, that's just a shitty
Yeah,
roll.
yeah.
It's not your fault at all.
Yeah, it's a shitty roll mixed with the bad decks. So yeah. Gentry will go more for the defensive, and he will go to guard the dude.
Okay.
So can I get? Yeah, I can get there. Okay.
Yeah.
So Gentry will just kind of move up to like a defensive position on this dude,
Okay.
and he'll keep an eye out for any projectiles and try and like put himself reach out and block it if he sees it.
Okay.
I don't know how good he can do that, but we're gonna try.
So let's see. I gotta look. God, this guy has abilities that are almost 2 pages long.
Wow.
He
Don't you have the nut? Oh, the glow on him.
right, and that'll end at the end of the. Oh well, you hit, so that is now done.
I guess I technically hit with a 20 then instead of a 19 because I didn't.
Right, right. Wow, this guy has no. Hmm. Well, this is going pear-shaped for him. So he So to tell you who this guy is, he is a Jade Fist Master. He is a kineticist, a 9th level kineticist. And he is going to use controlled density.
What?
The kineticist focuses kinetic force to alter the effective density of their own body, becoming lighter or heavier. The kineticist can become so light that they barely touch the ground. They leave no tracks in soft surfaces and can walk across the surface of water. Oh, wait, no, he's not going to do that. He is going to do kinetic leap. The kineticist propels their own body with a surge of kinetic force, allowing them to make a superhuman leap. The kineticist can leap to any location within 10 feet plus 10 feet per level, including vertically. So he casts Kinetic Leap and jumps down, and then he is going to nope the fuck out. So he can move. He can easily hop these benches. Oh, fuck, he can't quite get all the way. He is moving for this door. What does Peppermint want to do? That Peppermint could be a big damn hero.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm gonna go to the end here and then try and jump on him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. She's just a straight half orc, right?
Yeah.
No, she's a queer half orc. Let's see.
Probably pretty open.
She's pretty. Having been a prostitute, she's she keeps her options open. Yeah, make a. she was running, so yeah, make a dexterity ability check.
Oh,
I
you're good
wanna.
at that.
Yeah, I got a +1.
Yeah,
So do I do
you would
-1?
you would subtract that from your roll.
Okay. My dex is 14.
She succeeds. Okay, so she lands on Wapui. You can roll a d6. It depends. Are you just trying to just plow him with your body, or are you trying to grab onto him?
I guess I was trying to injure him with my weight, mostly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
roll a d6.
All right. Let's see how much damage I can do.
Okay,
I'm not as heavy as I thought, I guess.
so so both of you take 2 points of damage, but
Okay.
in the attack, you plow into him and knock him unconscious.
Awesome. Good for me. Okay.
Hold on here. That was pretty fucking epic. Let's see here. I need to record that. So the play has pretty much come to a complete stop, and these doors open up, and in comes council guard, and they kind of shove people out of the way, or anybody that is still remaining. They push out of the way, and they come over and they apprehend Wapui, and throw zip ties made of bark on him and drag his ass out of there. And Shalena Persan is rushes backstage, and you guys see her rush backstage. All of the actors rush backstage. I mean, there's nobody to stop you, and you were invited by Refared. You see Refared rush backstage. Did you want to head back there, or do you want to? What do you want to do?
I want to. Well, Mavis wants to see if the Primarch needs help, or if is he like poison? What happened?
So the Primarch, Eowyn Farinor, calls the council guard over, and the Primarch, Dentry, and Borman and Jackson immediately note that the Primarch seems very pale and he's sweating. Jackson can make a intelligence ability check.
Oh my god, that was
Jackson did not make it.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't look well, and you can see that there's a barely noticeable pin mark on his neck, and the Eowyn Farinor and the council guard kind of bundle him up, and she takes her cloak off and puts it over his head, and they bundle him out and they get him out of the theater.
Oh well, shit! I might have been able to help them. I have magical ointment and stuff, but
okay, if you before they bundle him out, if you want to use that, you can.
Yeah, I'll give him one of the doses.
Okay, so you smear a little bit of Vaseline on him. Here, this will fix you right up. I mean, Vaseline and Vicks. It's probably Vicks. It's a jar of Vicks. Here, this fixes everything. And you smear some of that.
It does.
Yeah, I know, right? You smear that on his neck where the pin mark is, and they bundle him up and get him out of there.
Okay, cool.
Before they leave, while she's doing that, can Borman kind of whisper in one of the guards' ears?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
I want to say, man, I overheard, and the guy that was talking shit about Gentry being an orc, the
Right.
big guy. Yeah, I'm gonna say, man, I overheard him to this other weird cloaked figure talking about a house they were breaking in the other night, and they were gonna bring the goods back to the theater here. So I thought you might want to check that out.
Make a because Mavis went over and smeared some, or was it a Mavis or a Laura that smeared it on him?
As Mavis.
So
There's
because
Mavis.
Mavis speared some Vicks on him, you get a +2
That
or
would be-
-2 to your charisma ability check.
All right.
That's 3 players that have to go on 6 days of rest.
One second.
Damn.
Oof. That's a crit fail. They're like, yeah, okay, we don't have time for this, and they get him out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we go backstage after that one lady, though?
Sure.
I mean, now we can after I've done sold them out, but they don't know that. So
Kind of group you guys together here. Sort of. You're such a large group. So this is the backstage area. And I will tell you what it looks like. So, wow, really? Yeah, it's number 4. 3. Oh, there it is. So back here, you see that there are a number of tables that are set up. There are numerous crates and barrels and sacks that hold bolts of cloth, tacks, thread, nails, stage prop building shit. And you see that there's a large work table, and it's got like a number of dolls on it and little, odds and ends on the table. There's a small model ship that's there. There are wood it cut into shapes of clouds that are painted white. There are hand puppets and a mock horse that is on rockers that are used for the props. And you get back here, and Refaired is absolutely beside himself. He is pacing back and forth, and he's got his hands gripping his hair in fistfuls. He says, "I'm ruined. My magnificent vision for Miserui politics is completely destroyed by this vile act," he says, pacing back and forth while biting his nails. "Nobody will dare attend a performance now." And Shalena comes over to him, and she says, No, we can work this into our advertising. Miserui politics will be the talk of the city. Nobody worth anything in high society would be caught dead missing a play where the Primarch was attempted to be assassinated," she says as she rubs Refaired's back. She says, nobody would miss a play where the Primarch was assassinated, is what she says. And you guys come in as you overhear this conversation. What are you guys doing?
I'm just watching.
You're like, this is a good show.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
Borman will say, well, maybe if you'd have done something to try to prevent, once you saw the attack was a miss, maybe running backstage was not the best play.
So you say that the attack was a miss, and Shalena turns and she says, "Are you sure?" She kind of stammers and she says, "Well, that is, that's fantastic news. Thanks, Sinaz, that he is all right." And she kind of hems and haws and stammers.
No, you need to thank Mavis that she's all right, because Mavis is who put the magic ointment. Yeah, the magic lubricating ointment on your leader there.
Everybody can make a wisdom ability check.
Malachi got it. Borman did not.
Okay.
Alora makes it. Peppermint makes it.
Well, it looks like maybe Dentry and Jackson got it.
What? I know we were rolling, but I missed what we're rolling for.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh yeah, I got.
So, you guys notice that Shalena seems very nervous. Like she suddenly breaks out in a sweat, and she tells she pats Refared on the shoulder, and she says, I must be getting home back to the house, and I have to go check on what's going on and see if the Primarch is okay."
Read mind.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. What do you get with read mind? So reading her mind. So she was able to witness that. Of course, she was sitting right there. She saw Peppermint dive off and knock him down and the guy got captured. And first thing that you get from reading minds is that she is she has intimate knowledge of Wapui. And I don't mean sex. I mean like they know each other. And the biggest thought on her mind is that he is alive, and if he escapes imprisonment, that she may be his next target.
Well, Malaco asks, why do you think you're going to be the next target?
You're just going to come out and admit, hey, I've been reading your mind. And so, so she says, oh, well, and she immediately looks at you with this look of complete fear, and tells you, I don't know what you're talking about. I have to get going.
All right, but we'll protect you.
And she rushes out. She heads out these side doors and gets the hell out of Dodge.
That was awkward.
Yes.
Dang.
So, Refared is still completely upset by this, but the as you are backstage, the other actors are coming up and saying, "Oh, thank you for everything that you did trying to protect the Primarch. This is terrible. This is so awful that this happened at our play, but thank God you were here."
Well, I'll accept the praise. That's great. Helping raise my self-esteem.
So that thus ends. I mean, at this point, the rest of the plays for the rest of the day are canceled, of course, and they're going to have to do a redo of the premiere tomorrow, and they refund all of your 2 silver piece entry fee. And
That's nice.
and they of course invite you and everyone else back tomorrow. They will redo the play, and Refared is nervous but hopeful that they can recoup from this tragic event. But the rest of the day goes on. You have a little bit of very little time. Is there anything else that you wanted to do in a short amount of time in the city before you head to the Olagaren Midsommer Ball?
I think I'm ready for the ball.
Me too. Let's go.
After all that, I need some drinks.
What a day.
So, Olagaren Manor isn't hard to find, considering that almost everybody who's anybody is heading for the ball. So, to tell you about House Olagaren. So, they are sometimes known amongst the denizens of the city as the House of Festival. House AleHorn spends much of their money and time delving into the cultural arts of high elf society. Coming from old money, the house regularly hosts balls, theatrical plays, concerts, and backs a number of art galleries in Drzewodolek. The house has investments in Orentis and is known to host works of art from that country as well. House AleHorn is not run by a single matriarch or patriarch, and is instead run by the family as a whole. This tends to lead to a disjointed appearance and scheduling conflicts between various artistic projects. So they are basically known as being extremely wealthy and spending their money basically to have fun. And when you arrive, and when you first come in through the double doors, you enter into the grand dining hall, and there are a number of people that are coming in, via you. The doors are just open, and in fact, just oh, hold on. There we go. That's better. It was just not keeping up. There we go. And so, as you enter, you see that there are a number of people. There are a set of grand double doors that enter, and around the hall, you see that there are a number of these potted plants. As elves do, they like to keep living plants around. They just love nature, and there is a large banquet table that's set up, full of food, and staff from the kitchen up here are continually bringing out food and placing it on the table. And there are a number of chairs. There's chairs around the walls. You would imagine that these chairs are normally set around this table, but they've been moved over to the walls and in front of the fireplace for intimate seating. And you see that Veanli AleHorn is here. In fact, I have a picture. I can show you what Veanli looks like. Which might tell you a little bit more about her. Waiting. There we go. There we go. So this is Veanli AleHorn.
Well dressed.
And she sees you come in and immediately greets you. And she comes over to you and she says, "Oh, I am so glad that you were able to make it out, and thank you for all the help that you did. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." She says, "You are going to be the talk of the ball, and we must get you into the proper attire."
Awesome. Let's do it.
So she leads you. Excuse me. She leads you over this way, and you see that there is this large central staircase that leads up to the second floor, and it looks like the central staircase looks like it is built into the inside of a tree. And so it is a huge diameter, huge tree, and there's this large central staircase that goes up, and this central tree is kind of um, the the basis for this entire manor house. And as you come, she kind of leads you, and you guys see the ballroom, and probably help if I had the right. That's my fault. And these are in alphabetical order. Why am I not finding it? There we go. So this hallway here is there are a pair of stained glass double doors that lead out to a grand garden behind the manor, and this little hallway connects to the ballroom, and in the middle of the ballroom, surrounded by hedges and a small bench, is a grand fountain. A large fountain that sits in the middle of the room. It is 4 feet tall, has 4 feet tall rose bushes and hedges around it, and a carved bench sits on the north side. And there are a number of musicians and bards that are set up that have just begun to kind of quietly play. And as you are kind of coming in here, there are a number of people that are standing around the ballroom. And there are, as you come in, everybody kind of turns and notices you. Whether that's because initially you would have thought that would be because of how you're dressed, because they are all immaculately dressed. But in this case, it's probably because of your actions at the ball. Because of your attempts to thwart the assassination, you will get a +4 bonus to reaction checks, or a -4 bonus to charisma ability checks with anybody that you deal with throughout the ball.
Awesome. Oh, it's worth 2 HP.
So as you enter, you get kind of not accosted, but yeah, kind of accosted by a number of people. You meet Aethlin Westwenis. He's a high-ranking member of the Guild of Military Affairs, and he seems to be genuinely sincere in his desires to help those that have served Drzewodolek. He would take special interest in Dentry because of the fact that Dentry attempted to use his own body to shield the Primarch, and he actually suggests that Dentry be introduced to the Council of Elders, and Aethlin would like to present a vote about giving Dentry a medal or possibly a title for such honorable deeds.
Well, all right.
You meet Renestre Elgwin. Well, we need to talk about House Elgwin. So House Elgwin is a kind of an oddity, especially among elves. House Elgwin is one of the 6 remaining royal houses. They are notable because House Elgwin is the biggest backer of the Chapel of the Gods. They are the big reason that the New Faith has kind of permeated through High Elven society. Generally, elves are of the Old Faith, but High Elves, because of Octus's direct intervention in their daily lives, have kind of turned to the New Faith and the 12 Elder Gods. And so House Elgwin is known for one of the biggest proponents of that. And the majority of their members are part of the church in an official capacity as either clerics or acolytes, and other members of the house are very devout in their faith. They have direct financial ties with the Guild of Waterworks, responsible for all of the running water in Drzewodolek, and they fund a lot of the guild's operations. And the current lead of the house is a shrewd businessman named Pertham Elgwyn. He's also a very pious follower of Octus. And this individual... So this individual is Renestre Elgwyn. They are very young. So for an elf, so if you figure an elf, they are not even considered to be an actual adult until they're 100 years old. This individual is about 25. And
wow.
but they are dressed very modestly, and they are. It appears almost like they're wearing, almost resembles like the robes of an acolyte, and through conversation with them, you learn that Renestre is set next year to take a vow of chastity when she decides to join the Church of the Known Gods, but she comes up, and even the way she's dressed, and it's common knowledge that she's about to take a vow of chastity in like a year, she starts hanging on Jackson. Like, literally hooks her arm through his and is like touching him constantly, and she tries to lead him around the ballroom, showing off that she's hanging on him. How's Jackson going to react with this?
Jackson doesn't care about her vow of chastity. Jackson's like, wait, someone's showing me attention? This is amazing. I'm used to hanging out with dirty outdoor people. This is awesome.
Dirty outdoor people. Everybody else, well, actually, all the characters, you can make a wisdom ability check.
Borman got it, but Malachi did not.
What is this wisdom you speak of?
Right?
17 and 18? I don't even know.
You're not noticing nothing.
All of my characters
Like,
know this.
pretty girl, ooh.
So Borman and Mavis Allura and Peppermint note that the other high elves around the room are kind of looking at Jackson and Renestra with frowns, and you can immediately tell they're not looking at Renestra with a frown. They're looking at Jackson with a frown. They're like, "That is a little girl. What are you fucking doing?"
Little girl, to you, grown to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
25. So you also meet Derlan Helisarin, who is good friends with Aethlin Wenwensis. Derlan Helisarin is a high commander in Drzewodolek's council guard. Similar to Aethlin, Derlan will be very interested to talk to Dentry, who he is referring to you as a group. He's referring to you as heroes of the matinee. And he plans to back Aethlin's vote to award Dentry with either a medal or a title for protecting the Primarch. Dentry, you can,
like, wait, what?
You can make a charisma ability check, and you get a -4 to that.
Oh shit! I might actually pull it off then. Charisma. Fuck.
So that gives you an 8.
Didn't do it.
Okay. So, yeah,
I had a 7 charisma.
So Aethlin and Derlan are basically hanging around Dentry, and wanting to, discuss about how they're going to present this vote that Dentry deserves a medal or maybe a title. He should be made a knight of Drzewodolek. And Durlan or Aethlin is very excited by this because there's never been a knight that was a half orc, especially of a high elven city. That would be completely unheard of. You guys also end up meeting Kilantha Elalar. She is the matriarch of a family of successful farmers. She runs several farms that are a part of Lethral Orchards in the Genrora ward. And she is pretty spry for 227 years old. And she takes interest in Borman. And Borman can make a charisma ability check, and you get to make that at -4.
Oh, sorry.
First one, I guess.
There, I failed.
Okay.
But Borman will be like, I will entertain none of your flirtations or anything unless you're willing to present, and I will name that piece of armor that we came to this place to get.
Oh, the armor of the Raven?
That's right.
She says, "Oh, that's a cultural artifact of the High Elves of Drzewodolek." She says, unlikely that the Council of Elders is going to allow you to take that, but she tells you that it is the legends state that the armor of the Raven is actually interred with the last Elven king in his tomb in the what is known as Anglian Mysteriarch, and it is Alora would know this, possibly Alora, Malachi, and Mavis would probably recognize that Anglian Mysteriarch is actually it's widely known as a place of power.
Can they tell us who that is, then, I guess? Is that far from here?
It is a small journey, 1 or 2 day journey, just to the north of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
You also end up meeting Lorsan Shamaris. Lorsan is a ranking guild member in the Guild of Arborists, Laborers, and Construction Workers. Despite this, she knows or shows none of the signs of having actually worked in any of those fields. She doesn't have any calluses anywhere on her. Her clothes are clean. Her fingernails are spotless. And she is wearing extremely fine elven silks embroidered with the most delicate of threads and wearing multiple jeweled rings. Borman, you immediately note that Lorsan is in the Guild of Arborists, Laborers, and Construction Workers only for herself. And it appears, at least to Borman, that Lorsan is probably in the pocket of the Zilmar. And the Zilmar are the unspoken of Thieves Guild in the city of Drzewodolek.
Mm. Yeah, she's robbing us blind.
Well, she's robbing somebody blind.
Yeah.
Mira Will Savlar is here. She is young, and she's a very strong voice of the guild, and she's honestly often a bane of the Council of Elders. She's 105 years old, and she is the forefront of activism to pressure the council for reparations with the Wood Elves. So there's this big schism. When the High Elves decided to allow the worship of the new faith, the 12 Elder Gods, the Wood Elves were like, we're more conservative. We're going to stick with the old faith, and we don't allow that. And so the Wood Elves kind of left. And as you may remember, Wood Elves are pretty nomadic. They move around the different woods and forests. But there's a big push in Drzewodolek, with the High Elven's society, a lot of people want to mend that rift and bring the Wood Elves back in. And the High Elves have been promising, or the Council of Elders have been promising to do this for a long time, but they're elves, and so because of their long lives, they don't do anything in a hurry. And for a lot of the younger generation, this is taking too long because I mean now we're talking a couple of 100 years, maybe longer, or 300-400 years that this has been going on, and these younger generations feel that this is unacceptable. So Mira is often at odds with other high elves in the city because a lot of the high elves take the side of the Elder Council. It's just not that important. If the Wood Elves don't want to be a part of Elven society, then fuck them. They can go do whatever they want. But you know, there are these activists such as Mira, and she is like at the forefront of this. And she has brightly dyed hair. It's like a bright orange and purple, and but that's only the color this week. It might change next week. And she's kind of moving around the ball as well, and she won't shut up about the welfare of the Wood Elves and how we need to bring them back into Elven society and become one people as a whole. And she'll talk about that to anybody that is willing to listen, and some people that aren't willing to listen. But as you are kind of maneuvering around, Fauna Lynn comes in and kind of separates Jackson from Renestra and says, "Oh, I'm certain that this fine hero would like to see the rest of the manor." And Fauna Lynn kind of leads you back to the stairwell, and she whispers in Jackson's ear. She says, "I'm absolutely certain that you desire a more intelligent conversation than that." And she smiles in a matronly way, and she looks over Jackson and the rest of you, and she looks at Jackson and says, "Who was your tailor?" No matter. And she waves her hand. She says, "Hammond has been waiting for you upstairs." And so she then brings you over to Hammond Olagaren, and he's already drunk. And he says, "Oh my, well, I suppose you at least tried." He looks over the way Jackson's dressed, and he just starts to kind of snort and laugh. And after he finally composes himself, he says, "All right, my friends, come with me. I will get you suited for a night you will not soon forget, or perhaps you won't remember." And he kind of leads you upstairs, and he reminds you. He says, "Remember, you are my personal guests." And he kind of flourishes with his hand, and he says, "If you need anything, you have but to ask." And he hiccups, and he says, "Feel free to just sleep anywhere, with anyone. Don't let Fauna Lynn get to you about having too much fun. She's a part of the old guard, you see. House Olagaren has progressed into the current age." And he leads you upstairs to the second floor, and there is a sitting room in front of these double doors that lead into his master bedroom. And just referred to as the sitting hall. And there is a large fainting couch here that is like an aqua-colored upholstery with big plush cushions, and then on the south side there is this large velvet couch that's red. They clash terribly, and then of course there are these double doors here that lead into Hammond's master bedroom, or at least that's his master bedroom that he's personally taken for now. But sitting on these couches are a number of people, and you recognize a couple of them. There is Kirill Triskelen, who is, from Southridge. You just recently helped him. And you see a number of these. They're on the fainting couch. Renestra has followed you up, and she is sitting next to she sits down next to There it is. Thasinia Inathana, who is a actually she's the younger sister-in-law of Shalena Persan, and you see that Thasinia has a tobacco pipe that she's lighting. And Renestra kind of follows Jackson up the stairs, and she goes over and plops down next to Thasinia, and she goes, "Oh, let me have some of that." And Thasinia says, "Okay, but don't clamp down with your teeth too hard. I stole that from my father before getting over here." And sitting on the velvet couch, you see next to Kirill Triskelin, you see one of the bards from the theater, and he's sitting there, kind of plucking on a lute, and all of these young sub 100-year-old female elves are kind of sitting around fawning over him. And of course, Hammond leads you in to his master bedroom, and he has, there's a big fireplace in here, and there's this large wardrobe on the north wall. And you open it, he opens it up, and he says, "Pick whatever you want." And he kind of flops down on the bed. And in this wardrobe, there are not just men's clothes. There's also women's clothes in here. It seems like this isn't really his room. It is the master bedroom of the manor, but he's currently the one that's chosen to occupy it. It's not necessarily his clothes that are in here, but you guys can pick however you want to dress. You can dress as fancy as you want, but all of this is high-end, elven silk.
Well, going to get the most expensive shit and put it on.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Are they giving us some privacy to change and everything?
He's almost practically passed out. He's not watching. He's just staring at the ceiling, but he's already so drunk that he's probably not going to notice.
I want to steal the rug.
Oh man.
Like, come on, guys, help me roll this shit up. Put it in the bag.
Okay, so you steal this elven rug and stick it in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. I'm going to label it high-end elven rug.
So it is probably worth... probably about 1,800 gold pieces.
Sounds beautiful.
So as soon as you are you're dressed and you're bedecked in your jewelry, they lead you. He, of course, says, "Okay, come on, we gotta get back down the stairs. We got drinking to do." And so you get back down to the ball. We'll give Cameron a moment to return.
Our Castle Braun will be high in rugs. You'll
Yes.
never have to walk on the concrete, on the stone.
Nothing but stolen rugs from all across the land.
I know all these places and these people that we've helped and victimized, taking
Victimized.
their rug.
Yes. Every house we break into, we steal a rug.
It's a little bit of,
The broadsheets around the realm are going to be like, rug thieves are rampant in the Glossian Empire.
I gotta say though, as soon as this ball is over, Borman's gonna want to head straight to that place and steal that armor.
Oh, to Anglion Mysteriarch?
Yeah. There's no reason to be fucking around here if what we came here for is somewhere else.
That's true. So, Kirill Triskelin kind of follows you guys down and makes his way over and kind of pulls you away from Hammond for a second, wants to thank you all again for everything that you did for Southbridge, and just he can't thank you enough. And He says that it's going to be a long road ahead because he's now the head of the family, and he's got a lot of a lot of learning to do about what it was that his deceased wife and his father-in-law did to make things run so well. But he wants to learn, and he wants to do right by his family or his in-laws, even though they are deceased. But you also down here meet Siliran Keyleth, who is an investor in the Kirith Tea Barge. And he's at the ball with his paramour, Gwyr Ferric, and Siliran is a prime example of elven androgyny. So when you look at Siliran, you can't tell. I mean, they could be a woman, they could be a man, you're not sure. And they are wearing the finest elven kilt and waistcoat. And they kind of come over and take Alora under their wing, and says, everyone, especially of your caliber, needs a break from the world every now and then, and kind of leads you over. Alora can make a charisma ability check, and she gets a -4 on top of that. Wow. Okay, nat 1, you succeed. Crit success. So Laren kind of palms a guest pass into Alora's hand for entry to the Kirith Tea Barge, and it's good for probably it's good for like a 3,000 silver piece night on the barge.
Holy crap.
All expenses paid.
Dang. That's generous.
You meet so Dentry meets Tanithil Sorasana, who is a squire, and this is another one. This house. This will probably be of This will be of interest to Dentry. So, House Sorasana, of all of these elven houses are vestiges of the elven nobility, but of course there are no more kings and queens of the elves. But the houses have kind of stuck around, and of all of the 6 houses that are remaining, House Sorasana is both the largest proponent of financial backer of the Council of Elders, but they are the closest thing to sustaining the customs of old royalty. And other houses have the ability to knight members, but House Sorasana is the only house that is left that only knights people for martial purposes. So, as an example, Sean Connery was a knight of England. He was knighted because he was a fucking actor. If you look at the history of knights, that's not why people are supposed to be knighted. They're supposed to be knighted and given titles for martial reasons, for going to war or what have you. And so Sorasana is the only house that continues to act in that manner. And they take the vows of their knights very seriously. And the house is currently led by the patriarch Tanith Sorasana, and his daughter, Dame Laerdia Sorasana, is actually on the Council of Elders. And it is Tanith Sorasana's hope that Laerdia will one day be made Primarch and will bring what he terms honor back to the council. Doesn't feel that there's a whole lot of honor in the council so much currently. But this individual...
What you want, man?
This individual...
Oh, you're
Where did my... So,
Shit.
so,
My laptop's gonna die soon, I think. I forgot to bring the cable.
oh no. So Tanathil Sorasana is a squire that has dream of gaining knighthood. She is a part of House Sorasana, but she, for a squire, she seems pretty frail, and she immediately comes over to Dentry, and Dentry can kind of pick up on the social cues that she's looking to possibly have some social gain by being seen around you. And she asks, she says, so word around the ball is that you and your compatriots intend to meet with the Council of Elders.
If we can.
She says,
That
well,
is the goal.
if you get the chance, could you put a good word in for me with Counselor Dame Laerdia Sorasana? I would love to squire for her.
To what end?
Well, she says that that Laerdia Sorasana is actually a kind of a third or fourth cousin of hers, but she really wants to squire for her because that would be a quick step up the ladder in the house. She says, I'm not going to lie to you. I want to become a famous knight, and the only way that I'm going to get there is by squiring for a famous knight.
Okay. I
And
kind of
this
look at the other members of the party like, we got any problem with that? I'm not the smart one here.
So moving around the ball, you guys can all make. Oh wait.
It died. My thing died when I was talking, but I'm on my phone now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, basically, you spend all night meeting people throughout the ball. You can all make a Constitution ability check. Well, first of all, tell me how much you're drinking. Are you going all out, or are you, so Borman and Malachi, what are your drinking habits while at the ball?
I think Borman's going to drink a little bit, but Malachi will not really. He's here just to be here. This isn't his dig.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But Borman did not make his constitution.
Okay. So Borman's pretty lit. What about Mavis, Alora, and Peppermint?
Peppermint's drinking. I don't think the other two are.
Okay.
So they just make one check.
Yeah, Peppermint can make a Constitution ability check.
I did not make it.
Okay, so she's pretty lit up. And what about Dentry and Jackson? Are you... So how is Dentry and Jackson drinking? I mean, Jackson undoubtedly is drinking heavy, but what about Dentry?
Gentry he's drinking, but not like obscenely.
Okay.
Mostly because he knows that that's probably not a good idea for him to do here, not because he can't.
So Jackson, you can go ahead and make a Constitution ability check.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jackson actually is holding.
All the drinking the wine that I'm always doing. That's why.
Right. Yes, Jackson's actually doing pretty good. But Peppermint and Borman are pretty lit up. And Hammond, of course, tells you guys can, there's no need to walk all the way back to the inn. You can stay the night here. Crash wherever, crash with whoever you want. And he tells you that there are 2 guest rooms upstairs that people crash in frequently, and so you are all allowed to kind of stay the night if you'd like, or you can make your way back to the inn. It's up to you.
I'd sleep here.
Okay.
Seems really nice.
Okay. So you guys kind of crash out, and I think that is so. I mean, you've made a lot of contacts here. You didn't get a direct invitation to the council chambers, but you have a number of people to talk to, and of course, you are in the good graces of the Primarch. So it's not like you'll probably be turned away should you want to head that direction. Or in the morning with your hangovers, as Borman wanted to do, you could just set out and try to find Angli and Mysteriok on your own.
Mm.
So that'll be something that you can think about over the next week. But I'm going to go ahead and divvy up some XP for you, because this is a good breaking spot.
I definitely will be voting that we just go to the event, but I mean to the location. But I mean, Mavis was excited about it, and I think Alora too. I'm not going to try to bar them from doing an activity they want.
Okay.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, I really want to do that, and then no one else does, and you're like, oh man, so you don't get to do it, and I don't. It's not that I'm against doing the ball. It's just that
you mean going to the council?
Yeah, I'm not against going to the council. I just at this point in time, I really want to go to that treasure.
Right.
Yeah.
There's dead people with treasure shit buried somewhere.
Right.
Oh hell yeah!
They just buried it in the ground and left it. What the fuck?
We need to go there.
So everybody gets 950 XP. I don't know if anybody leveled up.
Peppermint did last time, but nobody showing up.
Okay.
That's okay. Well, I'll take it over for the week for sure.
Okay.
How much experience?
950.
Oh, wow. Is that because of his C3 earlier on?
Just good interactions and good role play.
Oh, nice.
And 1600 for defeating the Jade Fistmaster.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
that was cool.
I will put a note in my stuff for later.
All right. I will see you guys next week, Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Sounds fun. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night, guys.